Let's get it. All right, y'all.
What's up, y'all? I'm Calvin McGowan.
Levi Washington had of Kansas City.
All right, and this is Alan Pettigrew, and we are the Traveling Hoopers. Let's go ahead and get started with this. And our first topic for today, it has to be Stephen A. Smith and Allen Iverson's um, all-time starting five. Uh, for the it's a pretty strong list. I think this team could compete in just about any era. Uh, we're going to go with, we're looking at Allen Iverson's starting five first. He has Steph Curry as his point guard, Michael Jordan as a shooting guard. Of course, that's a lot. He has Kobe at the three. That's different, but you know what? You can have two. They got LeBron at the four. Hopefully, it's bully ball LeBron, not this current LeBron, because that's gonna be good. That's gonna look a little weird. And then they got Shaq, which yes, I'm here with Shaq. The only person I would probably think about putting above him is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but it's super neck and neck. Super
Yeah,
neck and
you're
neck.
right.
And then Stephen A. Smith, his all-time starting five, Steph Curry. I don't know how both of them have Steph Curry. We're gonna talk about that later. Michael Jordan, of course, gotta have the GOAT. LeBron, gotta have the GOAT Junior. Kevin Durant at the four, little questionable. This should be interesting. And then, of course, you got Shaq. Now, like I said, all these starting fives, this is a strong starting five. Like if I was a GM and this team was gifted to me, I'd be the happiest person on earth. I could literally have four midgets. I'm not even gonna do little people like that because little people be hooping. I could literally have just about anybody on my bench, and I think I would still have a chance of winning every single night. But can we go back? When did Steph Curry pass Magic Johnson to being your all-time starting five? When did that happen? Did I miss something?
I think it was. I think they were going off like eras. I think they were going off of eras. Like there's different perspectives out there. So, you know,
But like the thing with going off air though is like Steph and like Jordan, actually everybody in Jordan and kind of Shaq were in different eras.
Yeah, like
Like
that's super true. Like no, none of them were getting like hand checked like that for real. Maybe LeBron at the beginning of his career, but LeBron also came in 6'8",
250.
230. He was ready for it. Steph Curry never had that hand check. I also don't know if like my I might be a little skewed because I was born in '96 and I haven't seen some of the older players play. I don't know if there's definitely somebody fast enough to push Steph Curry's hip and get him off balance a little bit, but I don't know if there's anybody that's actually quick enough, especially if he's using the pick and roll like he is currently doing in his handles. I don't know too many people that stay in front of that, and you would have to guard him. I'm assuming
100.
the minute he gets at half
Oh
court,
yeah.
if we're doing hand checking. But I need to know when Magic Johnson was passed up because I didn't get the memo. I didn't read that. I didn't get a phone blast. I didn't get none of that. Was it when he won the unanimous MVP? Because I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. Like he doesn't. To me, he's not a good defender. He's blessed with a team that has strong enough defenders where he can be a little bit loosey goosey. He can guard the third, fourth worst offensive player on the team, which is still a pretty good NBA player. But I don't want him guarding Kyrie Irving.
No
I don't want
sir.
him guarding Chris Paul. I don't want him guarding any elite point guard.
Damian Lillard.
Bruh, anybody. Almost don't want him. Excuse me. I know somebody gonna say something to me about this, but I almost don't even want him guarding D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah. Hey, that's true. That's true. He can post them up.
Like
I mean, he does a lot.
he, I get it. We talking about the greatest shooter of all time. We talking about a guy who can get his bucket at any time. But that that starting five puzzles me because you have Kobe, who's going to be a black hole pretty much. Well, he might not be a black hole when he has amazing talent around him. You got Michael Jordan. Both of them were not like off the ball shooters at any point. They needed the ball in their hands for at least 7 seconds before they could get a shot off. You had to run some type of action for them specifically. You would almost relegate Steph Curry to being a catch and shoot, especially if you got LeBron. LeBron not all that without the ball in his hands. He's straight. I think he'll still give you 25 a game if he's playing off the ball, but
That's not his game.
Steph Curry will facilitate. If Steph Curry a facilitator like that,
He can.
I don't know.
He can.
I feel like most of that just comes off of the fact that dudes have to come out and guard him, and that starts opening up the floor. You start trying to account for him. Defenders start kind of coming his way because you don't want to give him any kind of open space or it's over. Even if you don't give him open space, it might not matter.
That's true.
So I think his passing ability, while it's good, a lot of his ability to pass comes off the fact that defenses have to pay attention to him.
Yeah, that's true.
I get that. But with that starting five,
Yeah, what were they thinking? Like, what were they thinking in their heads?
I just don't know. Like, you're telling me, is Magic Johnson now the second best point guard of all time? Is this what's going on? Steph Curry replaced him? I just want to know. Like, maybe I need more context. Maybe I'm not getting this.
Yeah.
But Magic Johnson, 6'9", 6'10", play every position on the court.
Yeah.
I know he's not the best shooter, but he can take you in the post.
Yeah.
If anybody gets hurt, he's replacing any of them on the court at any given time. Special passer, probably not the world's best defender. I didn't watch it, but 6'9" at the point guard spot. Like, come on. Like, if Ben Simmons is a pretty good defender, I imagine Magic Johnson's even a better defender.
But don't you notice this, though, about the starting lineups? Each of the guys are kind of modern. Like, they're not that old. Like, they haven't been out the league that long. So, yeah, because you notice they didn't throw Kareem in there. They only threw Shaq. That's probably the oldest guy. They didn't throw Tim Duncan at the 4. So, you got to think.
Ooh.
They were thinking the modern players and, the way they're playing today's game. I don't know, I don't know why.
Hold up, question. Alright, so here's something I thought about once we started talking on the pod. Like, if AI is a top 5, just why isn't he in his own top 5? Like, does he think it's cheating?
As much as we think AI is arrogant, I think he's self-aware enough to be like, you know what, Steph Curry might give me buckets, but I could give him buckets. And there's a giant gap between their shooting ability. So I guess if you have those people on the court and none of them are what we would consider elite catch and shoot players, outside of maybe if you look at Stephen A's list, who has Kevin Durant.
They're all professional scorers too. Most of them.
Yes. Like that's what they do. That's what they do. $5 say choke. Shaq choked somebody out though.
Why you gotta choke somebody out, man?
I am. One, he's with Kobe. At the tail end, he was ready to give that boy the hands. If you think Kobe's bad, imagine Michael Jordan. I imagine he's so much worse. The only part. This is saying a lot.
Oh, yeah.
LeBron would have to be the peacekeeper. Because I guarantee somebody's going to be like, Steph, if you don't get out of here and go do something else, like, no one wants to talk to you right now. Like, LeBron would be the only one who's, like, big enough to be like, hey we got to play together. And they're going to be like, man, shut up. Just pass me the ball. But, I'm puzzled by that pass up. I get it. Elite shooter, greatest of all time when it comes to that. But I need Magic. I like size at the point guard position. I like for you to be able to play defense. I need you to get the ball moving around. I don't know if Steph is doing that. Steph's gravity is opening up for everybody else. but you already playing tight defense on 3 of the 4 guys. That if that would happen, I know this is crazy to say, but I could really see Steph. If we're playing in like a traditional offense where Steph is really running point guard,
Yeah,
I could see him
possibly.
averaging the most points on that team. Just because he would be so open. Like you got to body up on Kobe and you got to body up on Michael Jordan. LeBron, you can give a little bit of space to, but you're going to be worried about that all night. And then Shaq clogging the lane, which is a whole nother thing. So I can easily see him scoring the most out of that team.
No.
Y'all
Hey, I got
disagree?
a question. So, what defensive starting lineup would you put out there to guard those guys of all time? You could choose anybody to guard those guys. That's a tough one, huh?
Ooh.
That's a tough.
Ain't
That's
it?
a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a tough
Yeah,
one, bro.
that's crazy.
I was thinking about it. I couldn't think of too many players. Yeah.
I know I gotta have Bruce Bowen on that team.
How about Gary? How about Gary out
I
there?
know that for sure. Because Bruce Bowen is Gary on Steph. I'm intrigued.
Maybe.
Tell
I
me
mean, he could
more.
probably get in his head. Gary Payton was one of the best trash talkers I have ever heard and seen. And then you could throw Scottie Pippen out there. He's versatile on the defensive side, but it's just tough, man. That's tough. He ain't locking up Kobe.
You think Scottie locking
I mean,
up
he'd
Kobe?
probably get in. You remember Tayshaun Prince got into Kobe's head in that championship year they lost.
Are we adding Tayshaun Prince to the team?
Prime Tayshaun.
Granted, I didn't see it. What like if we're like the
Pistons,
Grizzlies,
Tayshaun?
Tayshaun Prince? No.
Bro, I told
No.
you, stop bringing that up. That never happened.
Yeah, definitely
That's
not.
not the
Definitely
Tayshaun
not.
Prince we know. That's not Tayshaun
Okay.
Prince with a ring. That's Tayshaun Prince with someone else's everything. Don't bring up your Memphis Grizzlies and my Tayshaun Prince. Those aren't the same people.
We're talking about the Pistons.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you did
Oh.
notice, I'm a big Tayshaun Prince fan.
Oh, yeah.
mainly with
Loved it.
when he was with the Pistons.
But
Of
not in the
course.
finals, bro. I did not like him, bro. He was getting a Kobe, man.
Brad, don't nobody care about Kobe.
That's
They
all right.
lost that year for a reason. Because Tayshaun Prince is
like,
the
I
greatest
need
of
to
all
chill.
time. Just kidding. But
What about Ben Wallace or DeAndre Jordan?
Ben
you're
Wallace.
gonna need-
Would you have Ben Wallace hold Shaq?
Okay.
Ben Wallace was actually
Yeah,
getting
that's
into
true.
Shaq during that finals too. He was averaging 30-some points a game. But he did the best at controlling Shaq and at least was able to get him a little angry. But I can't think of anybody else that I would rather have at that position. And then who do we got right now? We got Gary Payton,
Gary Payton.
Scottie Pippen.
Scottie Pippen.
Mm-hmm.
Tayshaun it
Are you
is.
going with Tayshaun Prince or not?
All right.
Yeah.
Are y'all sure, Calvin? You hesitated.
It's just
Do you-
like I'm just
do you-
gonna
do you
go
wanna
off your
throw-
word. I didn't pay attention to
You
him
throw
when he was
Kawhi
with
out
the
there?
Pistons.
Kawhi Leonard?
Kawhi?
Oh,
Kawhi at the 4? Because none of them really truly have a big four. We got Kevin Durant, who's weighing all of 212 pounds at 7 foot. And then we got LeBron, and we all know Big Hands Kawhi can do a little something on LeBron. I don't know why I said Kawhi like that. Kawhi Leonard. And then
Yeah, Ben Wallace. Yeah, I
and then
like
Ben
that.
Wallace?
I like that defensive lineup.
that's a mean defensive
Yeah, they're not winning
lineup.
offensively,
They're
at
not
least.
winning.
no, they're not.
Oh, they losing by 40. They losing by 40.
Big facts.
I'll tell you that. Ain't nothing. Yeah, grade
Yeah.
A offense always beats
Yeah.
defense, bro. Can't do nothing about that. Can't do nothing about. But another thing I want to talk about on that on those all-time starting lists. So we've got away from the classic 4 completely. Nobody was even talking about quote unquote greatest power forward of all time with Tim Duncan. I get it. At no point, I don't think his high was ever higher than than LeBron's, but I also don't think Kevin Durant's. I also don't think Kevin Durant's high is as high as Tim Duncan, especially the elite Tim Duncan in
Yeah, that's true.
2002.
And I think one of the reasons why is because, like I said earlier, you know, they were just going by, you know, maybe today's NBA. Today's
Mm-hmm.
NBA. Yeah, today's NBA. And
Um,
I feel like those guys will fit perfectly in today's NBA. Even though they're purely just mid-range post scorers, but they can shoot the three too. They have the ability.
like I'm not sure Kobe would fit. He's a chucker. Like the man holds the record for what most
Yeah,
missed
that's
shots
true.
without a make.
Yeah, but go ahead. Go
So
ahead.
like
I don't know what I was gonna
no
say.
no no no.
So
I
you
see
go
what you're gonna
ahead, man.
say. Right. But but it's just like he's a chucker. He's super inefficient, and the league now is all about efficiency in general. Um, and obviously him. It's not just him, but him. And like he's a shooter, but like he's not about to make threes like that per se. He's gonna make them more than I guess Jordan might. But do the free throw shooting, not the 3-point percentages of yesteryear that were good aren't good like that anymore. And so, like, if he was in the league today, they probably more or less consider him, this is on the level of, like, DeRozan, or maybe consider him a better version
Kobe?
of DeRozan.
We're not
I
talking
don't
about
know.
Kobe, are we?
Please tell me we're not talking about Kobe.
Okay, did I miss something?
Look, DeMar DeRozan was compared to Kobe coming out of
Yeah.
high school, I believe. But the difference there is that Kobe was.
But doesn't Kobe have the didn't
I don't know.
didn't Stephen Curry just recently pass Kobe Bryant in 3-point shooting in one game? You remember that against Toronto? So he can shoot the threes. The threes are there. Ain't no denying that. DeMar DeRozan, he's completely. I mean, he doesn't even want to shoot the three. So you can't put him on Kobe's level. I mean
he was solid
yeah, but
last
this
year,
year
wasn't he?
he's not shooting that many threes.
Yeah,
For example, against the Lakers.
I think that boy
Yeah.
Greg Popovich, he done.
Nope.
He not even trying to coach them boys.
He doesn't have the.
Wow.
He was like, y'all all stars, figure it out. Come on,
Tim Duncan
I'm waiting.
figured.
I'm waiting. Shoot a jump shot.
And then he said something about the threes, and you notice they didn't shoot that many threes either.
What?
So
Yeah,
he might retire.
Alright. As far as the threes go, just looking at the numbers, Kobe, his best 3-point shooting percentage was 38%. He's a
Yeah,
32%
but he had to
3-point
adjust.
shooter over his career.
all right. Look at his volume too. Look at his volume.
Taking 4.1 per game over
Only
his
4 threes a
career.
game.
He never took more than correction. In his last year, he attempted 7 threes a game.
Bro, we don't. I don't even want to.
Yeah, you can't play
How
that.
many games did he even play?
Over his career or
No,
that
I'm talking
season?
about that season.
66.
I'm not gonna lie. The last 3 years, actually, after the Achilles injury, I was like, cool, Kobe should be done. But he kept playing for some strange reason. And he just, to me, because I saw great Kobe. I saw 81-point game Kobe. Then I see this Kobe. And I'm like, this Kobe is killing the Lakers. But I'm not even going to get into that. But seven threes a game, at what clip was he
28%.
shooting at?
28%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're right. You're right. He's not efficient. You're right. You got that
That
right.
last year, yeah.
yeah. Because I think you said this. I think you said consecutive misses. I think he has
Yeah.
the
Most
all-time
likely,
record
yeah.
for misses. Yeah,
I
like he has missed the most shots
Oh yeah.
in NBA history, and it is like it's not like it's 10,000. It's almost 20,000, isn't it? My
um
math might be a little off, but I think if it's maybe it's around like the 12,000 mark.
um yeah, you're gonna have to give me a minute. I'm trying to find the stuff. I think this is for. Oh no, that's this year. Field goal. Field goals
Yeah,
missed.
yeah.
Are we looking at a career?
Yeah, career.
Okay.
It's a
So
lot.
yeah, even if when you combine the combined NBA and ABA, Kobe has missed more shots than
I knew it.
anybody else to ever play
I knew it.
basketball.
Everybody,
It, he leads by he's number
Wow.
one by like
That, that
1,000
that's a
field goals,
lot.
like by 1,000 misses.
Oh my goodness, Kobe.
and for a good portion of that, I blame Kobe for that. It's not like he had the worst team. He wanted he wanted his own team, and that was
That's the
down here.
justification
That's
for it.
where
Yeah,
we
that's the
saw
justification for it.
in my beliefs. That's yeah. That's when Chucker Kobe came. He's like, I can do it. It's like, yeah, no, not yet. We need to do that. But let me stop my hatred for, well, not my hatred, but my dislike for certain players is starting to show. But did we ever? Let's get back to the why there's no fours on anybody's list. So we're agreeing that this is
It's
like a modern
looking
game
like it.
list, right? Like,
Eh, I mean, the only one who's like you like, can't do modern game at all, efficiency or not, would be Shaq, and it doesn't really matter because it's Shaq.
actually, Shaq would even be solid in today's game. Imagine rim running Shaq.
I'm sorry. First, I have to imagine running Shaq, and I have to go back to before I paid him any attention, or knew who he was because I was like 3 or something.
But let's say you remember when he was throwing lobs. Everybody has seen the iconic Kobe to Shaq lob in the finals.
Right?
Imagine Shaq playing in like a DeAndre Jordan role when he was with the Clippers. That is scary. Nobody's getting in front of that. Imagine if Shaq had did that dunk on Brandon Knight.
Yeah. R.I.P.
Brandon Knight would have died.
Yeah.
He would have died on the court, bro. He'd have died on the court. And you know how he fell back on his back? No, he would have like disintegrated into a ball, bro. It'd have like Thanos snapped his finger. He just would have turned into dust. They would have had to sweep him up at the end of the game.
Yeah.
That'd have been the end of the game.
He would have got a technical foul for dunking.
It's like, you can't kill people on the court. The refs just would have been confused. Like,
Offensive.
you can't.
Flagrant.
You can't. You can do that? You can kill people? That's flagrant 2? No? Flagrant 3? We got... Cool.
You have to, if someone
The
died on
game's
the
over.
court, you have to
The
invent.
game's over.
You gotta invent a new flagrant. He died. You have to invent something else.
He was like, hey, you suspended for what? Ever. You can't play basketball anymore. I don't want to see you coach. I don't want to see you read a book about basketball. I don't... You know what? Don't even go overseas. I want to... No. But, yeah. So no Olajuwon?
Yeah, I was
We're not doing
surprised.
Olajuwon,
I was
no
surprised.
Tatum? That's done.
No traditional
That's done.
fours on there. None.
Because I don't know. I think Olajuwon might be able to fit. He was pretty athletic. And he was mobile.
I was actually watching film on him too.
And so Kevin Durant is definitely...
He could play the four for the Warriors.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I consider the man a 3.
I mean,
I've always considered him a 3.
yeah. I mean, on offense, I say he can play the four because he can create mismatches. But on defense, I'm not sure. It depends who it is.
On offense, I think he can play all
correct.
5 positions, to be honest with you. Just because he's a mismatch at every single position just because of how big he is and how good he is. But defense, I think Olajuwon will cook him. I imagine they would switch, but if you got another dominant big man, which a good majority of the teams before 2012 did, somebody's getting cooked somewhere. But I guess we need more context to this. I actually don't want more context to this because whatever they're gonna say is gonna make me confused. Because we doing this now. We just Magic Johnson better than Steph Curry better than Magic Johnson. Cool, that's different. But I'm here for it. Not really though. But again, my dislike for certain players' games are coming out.
All right, Philip.
Let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. Before I get a brain aneurysm.
Yes, MVP races, man. So far this year, man, obviously that man from Akron, Ohio, is on the top of my list because
that's the only reason why.
You know, he's changed.
You're a Lakers fan.
I've been a Lakers fan. You know this. But in these past years, though, I have not been a huge LeBron James fan until he came to my Lakers and changed the whole layout of who they are. You can't tell me he has not. They're winning games. And to add on that, the Western Conference is compromised this year. It's compromised, so they can definitely get to the Western Conference Finals with LeBron James on their side. So there's no
how's it
denying
compromised? Honest question.
First of all, Portland,
Trash.
they're they got smacked. They got smacked by 40 by Dallas. I don't want to hear nothing about that. The Rockets' defense is completely trash. They need defensive players. I'm sorry. And then who else is in the West? The Spurs are looking pretty bad as also, and it's just compromise. I mean,
Okay.
they have a chance. But in my second, my second is Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's been spectacular this year, man. And I feel like it can be his year if he keeps doing what he's doing. Winning games is also in, dominating the game. And then my third would be this is a tough one. I would say Kawhi Leonard. So how you feel about that, guys? And what's yours too?
My number one, I got to go with the Greek Freak. He is doing things that I haven't seen too many players do. Like, you're 7 foot, most athletic person on the court 9 times out of 10, and without a jump shot, he is still able to do whatever he wants. The whole team is benefiting. As much as the team is benefiting from Giannis being Giannis, Giannis is benefiting from his team being his team. This is the first year that I've seen where every position when Giannis is on the court is a threat from the three. When you got Middleton cooking, even if you don't got Middleton cooking, he's still that much of a threat. Brook Lopez is playing, as far as I'm concerned, the best basketball he's played since he got out of Brooklyn. And then you got guys like Tony Snell, who does nothing besides 3-and-D. They just got rid of Dellavedova, but he was another 3-and-D guy. And then you got 2015's Rookie of the Year, Malcolm Brogdon, who's not going to lock anybody up, but he's going to give it all he got, and he can space the floor. That opens up so much for Giannis to just run through the lane and just dunk on people. Like, I was watching, not High Noon, The Jump this week, and they say he is on pace to have the most dunks of anybody in the history of the NBA. And it's not like it's by a small margin. He's supposed to have like 367. The record is like 260 something. Like, he's going to obliterate it. And the way he is doing that, I know y'all had to see what he did to Blake.
Just recently?
Calvin,
Yeah, I seen that.
You look like you didn't see it.
Disgusting.
I don't even. It's like I'm trying to think because it's like I'll see highlights and I'll look at them. I might just go on. So I probably saw it and didn't pay much
Bruh,
attention.
I believe it was
Disgusting.
on the left post. Short corner. He caught the ball.
Hmm.
He thought about facing up, but he was like, "Nah, I'm gonna back you down." I kid you not. He was about 16 feet out, and we all know how long Giannis is. 2 dribbles. One
Oh yeah.
was kind of like the check to see if Blake Griffin was there. Blake Griffin like tried to hold his ground. The second one, he hit him so hard, he flew under the rim, and not like a fall back. Like he stumbled back, and then he tried to put his little T-Rex arms up in the air to do something against Giannis, but he was already under the rim. Giannis he extended and just tore the rim down while Blake Griffin was under it. And I'm watching, like I was looking at it like there's literally nothing Blake Griffin or anybody else could have did. Nobody jumps fast enough to try to block it. And his arms are so long, even if you had the bounce to do it, you probably don't have the arms to get up there to actually stop him. And it's weird, we don't talk about this enough. Giannis doesn't really have to jump to dunk. Like off that play, he didn't
doesn't,
jump
really,
high.
literally.
Like his hip didn't even get to Blake Griffin's shoulder. Like he barely jumped and just obliterated him. And he's doing everything for the team. He's an assist guy. He's a rebound guy. I think he's averaging like, Calvin, you might want to fact check me on this. I think he's averaging like 26 and 12. And he plays every single position. I don't know.
6 assists.
All right. You want his numbers? Yeah. All right. So he's currently averaging 26.8 points, 1.3 blocks, 1.5 steals, 6 assists, 13 rebounds. He's shooting 57%. He can't hit a 3 to save his life.
Look, I don't need him to hit a 3. That's my MVP at the moment. And then number 2, I have to go with Kawhi Leonard. Just because I know it's early, and the Raptors for the past 2 or 3 years, they have been, if not solid, amazing in the regular season, winning 50-plus games, having crazy defense, doing what they need to do to get W's. But there is something different about them with Kawhi Leonard.
Oh yeah.
When you watch the game, it's very Spursian. Like do you remember watching the Spurs and being like, this game is good to watch, but you're bored just because nobody's showing any type of emotion? That's exactly what you're getting out of Kawhi Leonard. And when you're watching him, you're like, wow, how do you do the things that you do without smiling or acknowledging that you just did anything? I watched him play. They were on TV this week against the 76ers. And I think it was either Jimmy Butler or Ben Simmons. They got an offensive rebound. They punk faked through one person, and they went up for a shot. And out of nowhere, Kawhi Leonard wasn't even in the frame of the camera. He came out of nowhere. He watched and made sure the person was jumping, and he just sent it into like the third row of the stands. And I'm just like, I don't know about you. I'm beating my chest. I'm beating my chest like, yeah, what's good? And they do the pan on his face. He turns around. It looks like somebody just told him, I hit your kitten. Just somber, just word. How many quarters we got left? I'm like, dude, you already got like 22 points, man. Smile. You're winning. Like, come on, dude. You in Toronto. I know it's freezing, but you're winning right now, bro. And then
Got the best record in the NBA.
my third place guy, I really don't want to do this. It's LeBron.
Do it.
Because it's LeBron. Like, it's year 16, still putting up 25 plus. Almost averaging a double. Still the assist guy. Defense is a little Defense, he's playing
Shaky.
defense like he's in year 16. I'll give him that all day. But LeBron is still doing LeBron things. His jump shot looks like it's pretty smooth. I don't know the numbers, but he's a step slower, but his step slower is still faster than everybody else, and which is ridiculous for anybody in year 16. And Calvin, I'm gonna let you do your list because I have a question about some people's MVP favorite, but I'm not gonna.
Okay. I guess my MVP, if I was just picking, would be Giannis, obviously. AD. I guess you kind of have to go with Kawhi the way they're playing right now. So yeah.
You're not gonna back up your boys?
Yeah. Why AD? Yeah, why AD? Why are you throwing AD out there? Record is like 12-13 or something like that. So I mean, why? Why AD?
Look, if AD disappears tomorrow, that team is probably if that's where they're at right now. If AD disappears tomorrow, they're probably the worst team in the league. Like at some point, I feel like with MVP, and granted, it's not what happens. You tend to reward the best player on the best team or some equivalent thereof. But it's worth acknowledging when someone has an outsized impact like that, where you're the only reason they're even looking at the playoffs. Granted, granted their record being what it is, he probably wouldn't win it, but it's worth having him in the conversation.
So, my bad, Calvin. Were you about to say something?
No, this is just this thing that I pulled up. Basically basically trying to predict based on other MVP results who's most likely to win. So currently in order, it's Giannis, Durant, Kawhi, Davis, LeBron, Embiid, Jokic, Lowry, Lillard, and Paul George.
Okay. Yeah.
No, that's not
But
bad.
it's also worth noting Giannis is they currently think he's got a 31% chance of winning, which is roughly twice that of anybody else.
Okay. I like that.
How about Kevin Durant? What was Kevin Durant's percentage?
He's got if we go off with their stuff, about a 15% chance. And he's surprisingly not shooting the three all that well to this point.
He's not. I mean, it's going to get better.
It should. That's what he does. But
yeah.
I saw that was kind of surprising to me.
What percentage is he shooting?
He's shooting 33%.
Right.
Like, it's okay if you're not supposed to be a shooter. It's okay. It's not. Durant should be shooting better.
I think a lot of what
he'll
that
figure
is
out.
because Steph Curry was out from 10 games, so he kind of just had to be. I'm gonna go ahead and put these points up. Y'all leave me alone because everybody else on this team, especially you, Draymond, sucks. But I was just being Bessie at this point.
For me, Jeremiah was barely there either.
I also keep hearing people say that Steph Curry should be in the conversation for some point. Maybe there's a recency bias here.
Yeah.
But you missed 10 games. No.
I mean, if he finishes out the season strong, I can see it.
True, but they're saying, like, he should be back in the conversation right now. I'm like...
That's not...
But didn't Stephen Curry just drop 40, though, the other day?
That's nice.
Coming
but you
back.
also missed 10 games. Like, your resume is shorter than everybody else's to this point. And just because you had 3-4 good games coming back from your hiatus, we're supposed to be like, you know what? You're just as good as what everybody else just did. Like, no, I'm not doing that. I do. I 100%
that's not fair.
That I think he's still leading the league some way, somehow. I think he's still leading the league in 3-pointers at this point, which is ridiculous.
All right, so the numbers. Since he's been back, he's played about 16 games. This probably isn't updated as of today or whatever necessarily. But through 16 games, he's averaging 29.6 points, 5-point assists, 5 rebounds. He's shooting 93% from free throw, shooting 51% from the field, and 50% from
I
deep.
hate Steph Curry so much.
Oh my gosh.
I hate Steph
Oh
so
my goodness.
much.
50% from the three
Yes.
line? How many 3-pointers have he
He's
shot
averaging 10 a
so
game.
far?
Well, 10 and a half a
Oh
game.
my goodness.
Stop talking to me. I know what.
Hey, I can see why now. I can definitely see why now. If you're shooting 50-50, bro.
Bruh.
You shooting 50% from the
Bruh,
field
I
in the
think
3-point line?
I
That's
think he's already
ridiculous.
done. No, I don't think he's done this in his career. But if the season ended right now, and I think he might have, I don't know if he's reached the field goal totals that you're supposed to have to be qualified for the 90-50-50 club, but I think he could be that person. And is the non-Steph Curry fan in me wants that not to happen. Go ahead and get your 90-50 season again like you do every other year. But those are ridiculous numbers. But I just need you to make this fair. Bro, this is literally like going to a job interview. And you've been good at your job. You've been out of college for 5 years. You've been getting results for that company. You have. And then the guy who just got out of college, who just happened to run his own business during college, who made millions of dollars by himself, gets the job over you. It's like, bro, you don't have any experience. It's like, you're right. But I'm better than you, so shut up. And that's literally what Steph Curry looks like. And it's scary to me that you can be this good. And I'm not going to lie, as a non-Steph Curry fan, that doesn't mean I do not like him. But I missed him so much while he was gone for them 10 games. If you noticed, the NBA seemed so boring while he was gone. Am I the only one who noticed that? Like, nobody was doing anything exciting. All of the teams were middling. Like, I was just like, can we have a juggernaut back just so I can be like, wow, this is amazing. I don't like them at all. But this is so much better than what the rest of you people are doing. Please step it up. I don't even want to talk about this no more. My head hurt.
But when he first got to the point he was playing like he does now, I would say, and this is like mostly a joke, the man sold his soul so he could just shoot threes from anywhere.
Bro, I think you might be right. Think about it.
I love that analogy.
He
I love that analogy.
He got in a car accident and was smiling. He got out the car smiling. Bro, you don't do that. You don't do that if you're a normal human. Steph Curry's no longer normal, bruh. We gotta.
He's
Bruh.
3-point god.
Is Steph Curry Jesus? Am I going too far?
Would this be his resurrection?
Bruh, just imagine that he retired. That's how he tells everybody. How old is Steph?
30.
He's probably like 20.
He 30?
30? He just turned 30? Okay.
2 years.
Yeah.
We're gonna see.
Wow.
Jesus was 32.
Wow.
We gonna see.
I mean, his shooting's probably not going anywhere being real.
Bruh.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, even
Doesn't
if he
have-
can't get into the lane like that no more, like, shooting is more of a skill. The athleticism doesn't need to be there that badly. Certainly compared.
That is a scary
that's
thought,
true.
bruh. Imagine 5 years from now, we're looking at the next crop of the NBA stars. Steph Curry is still cooking them boys from half court, just chucking. And I'm like, oh my goodness, why are we doing this? We have kids that are looking up like, Steph Curry's the greatest. I'm like, stop saying that. It's not true. You don't remember LeBron? LeBron did everything. You don't remember Kevin Durant? He was 7 foot. He was a 2 guard. Think about that. Come on, man. Michael Jordan, the GOAT. I didn't watch him because I'm only 27, but I remember his shoes. He was amazing. Look at his resume. I promise you. He just shoots. I can do that. Really? You do it. I can.
I can't do it as well as
Look,
him.
look.
I'm retired. I'm
Daddy,
retired.
you used to be my hero, but now Steph Curry is. Oh, then I got to throw the baby out with the bathwater. And I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that.
You gotta put him up for
Bro,
adoption
I'm not
now.
even putting you up for adoption. I'm not even gonna have the decency to put you in a basket to put you on somebody else's doorstep. Just get out. Just get out. Don't even use the big door. Use the doggy door.
That's a.
I'm not ready for
That's
it.
a bit
bro.
hard.
I think I'm a longevity guy in Steph Curry being able to be like, oh, my elbow, and then just sitting down for 10 games. Well, my bad. Oh, my ankle, sitting down for 10 games, and then just come back like nothing happened and just doing the exact same thing. Like, if you stay healthy, one, I'd probably cry a little bit more. Two, what is the point of having an MVP race? Just give it to Steph. I might be coming to the realization that Steph is more important to his team than just about every player. Because you know that there's a major drop off when the best player of your team leaves.
Yeah.
But Steph Curry is the only player that when he's gone, his team is still a top 5 team, but their complete identity changes. And just imagine if they didn't have Kevin Durant. They would be in the same boat of every other team. You mean to tell me you got 2 All-Stars and yet you would be middling without Steph Curry? I can't think of too many other teams. Outside of the situations where LeBron left his big threes and they just became like average teams. But like that is Steph the most important player in the league?
Most important.
It's either if we're talking about when we say like most important, I guess we're including like they're being kind of the face of the league type stuff as well.
Not so much the face of the league, but the face of their team and what just their sheer presence means to that organization.
Oh, okay.
Definitely.
Then, you know what? I'm gonna go. It's LeBron, then Steph.
You still got LeBron over?
Definitely.
Well, if we're talking about important, because it's like the expectations follow LeBron everywhere. As soon as you get him, you could have been the worst team in the league last year. If he had gone to the Suns, they're expected to make the finals now. Like nobody else has that, and in that sense, he's more. Regardless of where he goes, he's automatically more important to his organization than any other players to their respective organization. And then
I can agree with that.
And then Steph is right there just because of how important he is to the Warriors. If LeBron retires today, Steph is the most important dude. One, because of that whole I can shoot the ball from anywhere, like I can come off the bus and nail it type thing that he's had going on for a while now. But also just he's the face of that organization. Like he just is. I don't care that KD is there. He's the face of the Warriors. He's also one of the big faces in the league. Like he's one of the more he's got the bigger media presence relative to a lot of other dudes. So if we're just talking about important, as soon like if it's not LeBron, then it has to be Steph, and it's not particularly close after them.
What you think, Levi?
I completely agree with Calvin because LeBron James, you know, like he said, expectations are there as soon as he's there. Like, for example, he's playing for the Lakers. The Lakers was pretty bad. They're on a good run, but the Lakers, they had all these young guys, and they're kind of struggling this year. But LeBron is making them a better team. And with the Western Conference being compromised, they have a better chance getting to the Western Conference. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. And Stephen Curry, Stephen Curry, he is who he is, you know. He has the ability to bring superstars to his team, and he's coexisting with them. Tongue twister for me. Coexisting with superstars. So I mean, can't go wrong with that.
Real quick, while I'm thinking about it, is DeMarcus Cousins supposed to be coming back soon?
You know,
I feel like I heard something about
did you hear
that.
about them sending him down to the G League so he can get in shape?
I did not hear about that. That is,
I'm not worried
They
about
did that with Jabari Parker.
Do you know who DeMarcus Cousins is? Imagine DeMarcus Cousins playing in anyone's G League.
it's not fair for anybody. Well, except for DeMarcus, because then he's just like, it's just like cardio for him. He's like, all right, I'm gonna go and get my reps today.
What they're forgetting
Sit down.
is that he's 7 foot. Even fat DeMarcus Cousins has so much skill that G Leaguers are. I feel bad for him.
Like,
Because you know he's not gonna try. He gonna be like, give me the ball, just give me the ball. 60-point game. It's like, bro, what are you doing? Like, no, you're supposed to just run up and down the court. It's like, yeah, shut up, move. 70-point game. It's like, bro, slow down. You're doing a lot. 80-point game. Like, okay, can we?
like he's down there to get in shape, and there are dudes trying to make it in the league.
It's like,
Yeah, I mean, maybe he could teach him something.
I don't think he's gonna think of it like that. I think he's about to have fun.
Yeah.
I think he's about to have a lot of fun, bro.
I feel like once he starts getting in shape, he's gonna get bored though. It's just like, I can do this whenever I want. I want to go back and do this against better players.
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna get impatient.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been so enamored with Steph Curry's return that I forgot DeMarcus Cousins was on that team, and we have to worry about that for the second half of the season. And I don't know if my heart can take it. I've been waiting for the Warriors' downfall since 2015, and now we gotta deal with this. I know he's somehow gonna hurt the team. Hopefully, but that's my prediction that there's going to be something off. He's either him and Draymond are going to try to choke each other, and Draymond going to get choked out because he got the short arm, or they're going to be yelling at each other, and Draymond's going to swing at him, and they're going to be like, and DeMarcus Cousins is just going to smile. From there, he's going to take every shot he gets, no matter where he is. He's just going to mess up the rest of the team, and I'm here for that. I'm here for a mole in that organization. I don't care who it is. It could be Steph himself. If he's feeling that night, if he want to shoot from behind half court, do it. Let it fly, young blood.
I feel like DeMarcus isn't really gonna mess them up like that. Which, I mean, you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that. But no, because it's like, one, like, if you kind of paid attention, he can facilitate. He doesn't want to though. It's too much work. No, like, because I think it was last year I read this article. Because I guess the start of the season or something, when he was over there at the Pelicans, Rondo was hurt. So he took on more of the facilitating responsibility. So he'd be out here getting like 7-8 assists a game. But as soon as Rondo comes back, he's basically like, here, take the ball. I don't want it no more. Like, so I feel like he's just going to find his shot. He's not even, like, all he's going to do is take it, dunk it, get rebounds, whatever. He's not even going to have to try that hard because everybody else is going to do most of the hard stuff. And then he's just going to do something to make you drop your jaw like once a game and just be happy with that. Because I feel like he's at the Warriors mostly because no one over there is going to rush him to get back in. Whereas if he goes most places, they're going to try and hurry his stuff along.
Yeah, that's true. He's going to be well rested.
Bruh, just
for
wait
sure.
for the moment. DeMarcus,
Especially,
I'm sorry, Levi. Just wait for the moment DeMarcus Cousins is feeling it one night and misses 2 shots in a row. And Draymond Green runs up and yells at him. And DeMarcus Cousins just flicks him in his forehead and mushes his face and walks to the bench. And a whole Oracle Arena just goes quiet. And Draymond Green jumps on his back and locks in a rear naked choke. And they fall to the ground and a riot incites. And I'm like, yes! yes, this is exactly what was supposed to happen. Anarchy, burn it to the ground, please. But it ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna
Wait,
happen.
how do we get a riot? How do we get a full-blown riot, though?
It's battles in the palace. Except they don't go in the crowd.
Fact.
You got players from other teams clapping like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Take them out. But I know that.
Watch it be against the Grizzlies and what? It's Jakeem Noah clapping.
Oh, you know,
Out here encouraging that
Joakim
mess.
Noah is his hair blonde now?
I
what
haven't
color
actually.
it is.
I don't know. I don't think so, but I have no idea.
I'm assuming weed is legal in New York because that boy tripped.
What's so bad on my
Have you seen
man's,
him?
man?
That
Yeah, I seen him.
he looks
He's
like
looking rough, man.
when he eats like candy or peanuts, he shakes them in his hand before he puts them in his mouth. Or he wears fedoras cocked to the side. Like, what are you doing, bro? Just you're rich. You're 7 foot. You already stuck out like a sore thumb. Like, don't try to be normal. Just try not to be you for a few seconds. I don't know what you're doing, but is he getting minutes with the Grizzlies?
I actually don't know the answer to that.
Yeah,
Actually, hold up. We can probably check this out. We can probably look
I
into
also
this.
think that's going to be
Check it
great
out.
for having somebody that intense is probably going to be great for Jaren Jackson's development. Just because I know in practice you hearing a lot of mouth and you getting a lot of elbows. You're gonna have to figure out how to get away from that.
I mean, it definitely make practice more entertaining. Well, you know, if you don't have to deal with it. So just side note. So apparently, I guess these are just the only 2 games he's been with us. I don't know. He's 15 minutes. He's getting about 15 minutes a game.
Did y'all really need a big man like that, or y'all just wanted one?
Just
Yeah,
Isn't Jaren Jackson pretty good?
he.
I
Yeah,
heard he's
he
pretty
is.
good
He's
this year.
just young. I'd assume it probably does help with depth because we only because otherwise I think we only have like 3 bigs really.
Okay.
So yeah, we probably could have used one, but also having someone else help with giving Jackson advice is probably not a bad thing. Long as that advice doesn't involve fighting people.
Alright. So we about wrapped up on the MVP conversation. Everybody said their top 3.
My top 3 is LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and
Why do I feel like
Kawhi
you
Leonard.
had Giannis at first when we first started talking?
Nah, I said LeBron James, that man from Akron. You remember me saying
I'm
that?
act like I didn't hear you say it. I got Giannis number 1. I don't remember who I had number 2. Kawhi number 2, and LeBron number 3. Calvin.
Right. I had Giannis, Kawhi, and Anthony Davis.
All right. And Calvin, I know you were saying you wanted to do something with the rookies, right?
I just kind of talk about how they're doing and everything. I know what was it? I think I think it was this week. It might have been last. No, it had to be this week because we would have probably talked about it. He beat Jaren Jackson Jr. was one of the youngest players to put up what it was like 35 and 8 or something.
I think I missed that game.
Yeah.
I thought he had 12 rebounds.
Okay.
I thought he had 12
correction, he put
rebounds.
up 36 points. I'm looking at something right
I
now.
remember that game.
Yeah, I remember that game.
Yeah, that. And he's just otherwise just been a really good rookie, kind of out the gate. Question: have any of y'all watched any Suns games by chance?
Yes, watched 1.5 of them.
I watched one.
One and a half.
Me
Okay.
too. It's bad.
How is Ayton looking?
Ayton is looking like he's looking like a bucket, bro. He's looking like a 15 at worst, and this is without him playing with like a lot of energy or anything. He's looking like a 15 and 8 guy. Like you probably don't want him on defense, I was reading a few people's scouting report on him. His defense is his biggest weakness, and it's mainly reads. And I think it's because I don't think he started playing basketball as early as most people do, and I think it's a combination of him being as big as he is. In high school, even against elite competition, like at these power schools, you don't have to be the best defender. Your size and athleticism should be able to push you through. I don't think they were asking for him to be a defensive anchor because they had another big 7-footer in Arizona, and now that they're asking him to like you got to be able to defend a point guard for about 3 seconds. Can you do that? And he's like, yeah. He lied on his resume. He told him yeah, and it was really no, and he gets confused. Like he'll do a read, and he's either slow to react or he doesn't react at all, and that's 2 easy points. But offensively, he's sound. Got a nice little mid range. I don't think he can step out to 3 yet, but I think he's putting up numbers right now for whatchamacallit. But I think he kind of got scolded because he wasn't playing as hard as he was supposed to, and he vocally was like, he's like, bro, did you not see how much we were losing by? Leave me alone, basically. And he was just being like real honest, and they were like, oh no, Playboy, we don't do that. And I think like the next game he got bit, but they were like, oh, it's because he's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I saw a thing about them benching him. I don't remember anything about him seeing anything about him being sick. It did seem more like it was from that lack of effort thing. And this is when, apparently this is also when, I guess Devin Booker and T.J. Warren are both out. So he'd basically be the scoring option. And I'm looking at it, in, I guess, 21 minutes that game, he only had 10 points.
And don't forget, they don't have a point guard to give him the ball besides Devin Booker. So, I mean, is he really a point guard? He's more of a shooting guard type.
They have a promising point guard in Elia Kobo, but he's more of your defender than he is your playmaker at this point in time.
Yeah.
Do you want to do all of the rookies, or is it just like a select few that you want to go through, or are you trying to just do the lot?
I don't know. It's just kind of checking in on various rookies. Are there any rookies y'all have particular interest in?
Luka Doncic.
I saw him play. You know your boy got partial season tickets, so I saw him play on Tuesday. He's the guy in a pickup game that he's not the first guy you pick if you're just doing the eye test, because he has the size, but he even in person he looks fluffy. He looks like he's just not toned up. But when you get on the court, you're like, oh. So this is the ringer. Why didn't y'all tell me he was nice? Like, if you new to the gym and you didn't pick him up first, but your teammates had been there, you get mad at them for not telling you that this guy is the truth. Like, offensively, he got everything from playmaking to shooting. He has a little bit of a handle. He really hasn't showed that passing ability that everybody was talking about when he was over there winning MVPs overseas. But he's surprisingly a scorer. I think he's averaging like 20 a game. And his rebounding, even though his athleticism isn't crazy, his rebounding is pretty solid too. For somebody who's supposed to be a point guard.
I thought he was a shooting guard.
I thought he was a 3.
Slash.
Man,
It's positionless. So how about that?
He can play 1 through 4. And the only time you're worried about him playing 1 through 4 is if he's like the first game of the season he played against. They played against Phoenix, and I think there was like a switch, and Ayton bodied Doncic real quick with it like a step back. And when there's athletic and height and size strength difference, there's not much he can do because he's not laterally quick enough.
Yeah.
And he hasn't did like the little things where you can be like, oh, if you're gonna beat me, I'm gonna just swipe at your hand, get that up out the way. Not little vet moves, but Buddy, I can see Buddy being a 25-point per game scorer, easily by his third season. Yeah, you're talking about 25-5 type guy.
25 and
25,
5 assists or 5 rebounds.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can see his assist numbers going up because Dennis Smith is not the he's not a facilitator type. He's more attack in the rim and attacking the defense. Kick out type of guy. And I can see Doncic take it because I see that he handles the ball a lot, especially in the half court set. So I can see his assist numbers going up too in those 3-4 years.
Yeah.
In those 3-4 years.
The only reason why I don't completely agree with that right now, just because just looking at how their roster is constructed right now, they don't seem to have shooters that are going to go into that second and third year of his career. They have DSJ, Wesley
Matthews.
I don't know what Wesley Matthews is doing pretty good this season, but I don't know what Wesley Matthews is going to be doing 2 years from now. I don't know when his contract is up either, so that could be up in the air. And if he leaves, I don't see those numbers going up because the floor shrinks so much. And then unless Dennis Smith Jr. becomes an elite cutter or he becomes a reliable 3-point threat, nah, those assist numbers are going to be pretty much there unless they get another draft pick that's really spacing the floor.
So you're saying they're not spaced? That's what you're saying?
You said what?
So you're saying they're not spaced? They don't have enough shooters on their squad. That's what you're saying.
The shooters that they have now coming off contract in the next couple of years, or they don't re-sign some, like a guy. I don't think they'll get them in the draft, but a guy like Quentin Grimes or Romeo Langford, a guy that can space the floor a little bit. If they get somebody like that, then yeah, I can see those assist numbers coming up.
But can't you see him relying on him more to do the passing and playmaking?
Yeah, if you
can't you see him doing that?
They rely on him heavily when it comes to that pick and roll.
Oh yeah, definitely. He makes the right decision every single time, most of the time at least. But yeah, I like Luka.
Okay. Have y'all been keeping tabs on Trae Young?
Trey Buns.
Oh yeah, I've seen a couple games.
But I'm gonna
Trey Buns really
forever until he decides to rock the ball with that awkward shaped head. Trey, I actually haven't heard from Trigger Trey in like a week or two since I know
I seen that word.
He's putting up good numbers, but surprisingly not the best at shooting the 3 ball. Then like the last time I heard, he was around 30%, maybe below. Maybe that's changed within the last couple of games, but yeah.
Says here in his last 3 games, he's averaging 33% from the field and is going 1 of 12 from 3-point. Oh, and he has 15 turnovers.
Woo.
And bro, I follow a couple guys that are like DFW Texas guys, and I think originally Trae Young is from Texas, and they were like, bruh, he's the rookie of the year over Luka, and I'm like, oh, y'all tripping, because that efficiency is putrid.
Yeah. I feel like he'll get better. He'll get better during the season, throughout the season.
I feel like I don't know. He might come back.
My bad. Go ahead.
He might come back to average, but I don't know. Because it's like he kind of did this during the last season too though in college. It's like started out super hot and then cooled way off after like about halfway through.
Yeah.
Like once conference play started. So like he'll probably get better, but I'm not sure how much better he'll be. He'll be by the end of this season, at least in any measurable way.
I think what he's showing us right now, that's going to be him for maybe the rest of the season, maybe half of the next. Because again, not a lot of spacing there. You can awkwardly see that is as much as it is a team game when he's passing to the bigs. It's not really a team game for the guards. Like everybody else trying to eat too. Like you can almost see that Tim Hardaway is playing for his next contract. Like he's good, but like he's trying to get up out of Phoenix. I mean not Phoenix, but Atlanta. But his efficiency is what it's gonna be until he either figures out a better shot selection or he focuses on being a playmaker and let the offense come to him instead of forcing it.
I agree. Did you see Kobe's analyzation about how Trae Young should play?
No, what did he say?
It's basically what Allen just said. Basically just executing, setting up other players and executing the pick and roll better than what he is doing right now. And not forcing shots, basically. Forcing 3-point shots.
I mean, I thought, it might be like...
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
I mean, forcing like the situation, being the point guard.
Bruh, Kobe scored 60 points on his last game of his career. Shot the ball 50 times. He didn't
He
have
had to.
He could have went out there and passed the ball at every possession. People still would have screamed, Kobe, Kobe. And I hate when people be like, my bad. That was, I don't know why people hype up that 60-point game like he didn't shoot the ball 1,000 times. That has nothing to do with me.
Granted, I didn't watch the game. I assumed that everybody just kind of agreed we're just gonna let Kobe score this game.
Yeah, but you can't be like,
yeah.
I can't believe he scored 60. I can't believe he shot the ball 50 times. Aren't your arms tired after 20? You ever been at the Y and shot 10 times? It's like, God. It was like, ooh, my shoulders kind of hurt. I can't believe I'm doing this. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about rookies.
We were on the wrong end of the career. Okay.
Exactly.
Like who outside of Trae Young, who do they have over in Atlanta?
They got Prince,
Kent Bazemore, I believe.
Yeah. They got Anderson. No, not Kyle Anderson.
No, Kyle. Yeah.
Justin Anderson. Yeah.
Tim Hardaway.
A whole bunch of guys that yeah.
Omari Payne.
I mean, not too many guys.
Or is it Omari Payne?
Yeah, Omari Payne.
John Collins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Vince Carter. Yeah, Vince Carter.
Vince Carter.
I think he was starting for a while, which is confusing. He's 41. What's happening?
Yeah. I don't know what they were thinking, but it is what it is, man. They can do whatever they want. They're rebuilding, trying to figure out what they need to do, man.
Maybe they're trying to trick him in doing like a dunk a game so that the games will be more entertaining before the blowout happens.
Maybe.
I think he did.
Box office.
I made a prediction that he's going to have at least 8 posters. I believe he has 2 this season. I need him to keep going. He's on track for it. What's another rookie we want to talk about?
Who's been playing well? What rookies have been playing well? Really?
I want to talk about all the rookies for the Knicks.
Yeah.
You like Mario?
Alonzo.
No,
Trier?
that's not his first name.
No, he's talking about Herzonia isn't a rookie.
Yeah, Hazonia.
Bro.
Oh, he's not a rookie.
That's how bad Mario Hazonia is.
I can't even pronounce his name.
Mario Hazonia is on. I think this might be his 5th season. He had a lot of.
Dude, I've never seen that dude play in my life.
With the Magic, and I just thought it was because the Magic are bad at whatever they're doing, and no, turns out he's bad. He's he's a he's an athlete. He's an NBA athlete, but he is not an NBA player.
He's actually on the end of his rookie
Gotcha,
contract
gotcha.
this year. I'm looking at it. This is his
That
fourth
is-
year in the league.
Okay, I was close.
What?
Yeah,
That's
you
crazy.
said 5 years. I'm like, I didn't know he was in the league that long. What?
4 or 5, give or take.
Not quite.
That was close.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't had to Steph over Giannis like that. I really feel bad for that man. Giannis is gonna murder him. I can't wait. I guarantee Hazonya's gonna get a DMP that game. It's like, we're not gonna do it to you like that, bro.
Sorry,
Giannis will
bro.
stuff a hole in your chest. Bro, did you see how calmly Giannis said, "Oh, I'm gonna punch him in the nuts" when they interviewed him about that?
Yeah, I did
Bro,
see
he said
that.
it so casually. He put his jacket on. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna kick him in the nuts. I'm gonna just punch him in the nuts. It's cool. It's cool." Like, no emotion whatsoever. It looked like Kawhi Leonard. Like, I'm gonna just punch him in the nuts.
I couldn't imagine hearing Kawhi Leonard say that, bro. Like, how straight his face would be. Hit him in the nuts.
Hey, somebody do the laugh and say I'm gonna hit him in the nuts. Yeah, let's get back on track. But,
Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
honestly think the Knicks they did the best in the draft with what they had. You got Kevin Knox, who's more of a project. I had on the Traveling Hoopers Alonzo Trier, who went undrafted. He threw a lob, which happens at least twice a game, to their center. Why can I not think of that man right now?
Mitch Robinson?
Yes, Mitchell Robinson, who was a second round pick, I believe.
Yeah, because he didn't play any college
Right.
ball.
You mean to tell me you got an instant bucket in Alonzo Trier? You got who has the makings, top 15, top 20 center that you got in the second round. And then your first round pick, some no-name guy was like, he's the next Tracy McGrady. We're not even going to listen to that. You got another guy who has the capability of being an all-star if everything clicks for him. And at worst, you're looking at a guy who, in my opinion, has Chris Middleton potential with his size and his ability to shoot. Where it's going to mess up a little bit for him is I don't know if he can create off the dribble, and I'm talking about Knox on this one. But you, in all three phases of the draft, you got rookies that are under the age of, I believe, 22, that if you stay with them, I think the only one that they may lose is Alonzo Trier, because I don't think he's on a full rookie scale deal. That's going to be a nasty team, especially if they can get, if they can convince some top end talent to come, like KD, Yalor, Kyrie, or Jimmy Butler over to that team. Actually skip Jimmy Butler unless he's trying to only run point guard. If you can get a legitimate point guard, that is going to be a dangerous team. Not next season if they get them, but season afterwards. Because them boys just gonna be clicking, bro. And even if they don't, they're just gonna be really fun to watch. I almost wish I was a beat writer for the Knicks, bro. Them boys are gonna be so fun over the next 2 to 3 years.
Hopefully.
If not, they're the Knicks, so we don't care.
I mean,
Yeah, they need to get rid of James
it's the
Dolan.
Knicks. The owner's going to find some way to mess it up.
Really? Legit.
Yeah. Any other rookies y'all can think of? I haven't heard anything about who's taking with the number 2 pick. Marvin Bagley.
I thought he'd been playing pretty well, I wanted to think.
But I just haven't heard anything from a while. Can you look up the stats?
I mean, alright. But it's also like he's on the Kings. It's the Kings. People don't really talk about them. It makes sense.
I've been hearing a lot about what's buddy? De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is he's turning it up. Like, if he doesn't get most improved player, I would really wonder who they're giving it to. If it's not him, and in the spirit of Philip, who is not here with us today, he's If it's not him or Derrick Rose, I don't know who's getting that. Be honest with you.
So Bagley is currently averaging 13 points, 6.5 rebounds, 1.2 blocks. He's shooting 52%, and 33% from deep. He's not taking that many threes though, but hey. Um, so yeah, that's where he's at the moment. And interestingly, he doesn't start.
That sounds about right. He's solid.
And he's averaging. They have him averaging 24 minutes a game.
Yeah.
So
I feel like they'll work on the starting lineup.
Anything else?
yeah.
That's it for me.
Like I told you before, I didn't watch any basketball this week, so I don't have much to say on the college end of
So
things.
disappointing you guys.
Yeah, that's life. You'll be okay.
Okay.
I watched college.
Oh, okay.
I watched that Duke and I can't remember the team. It starts with an R. They completely dominated them, obviously. And I seen a stat for RJ, and it said that he averaged about it was like 11 assists. No, it was 21 assists. No, it was like 12 to 13 assists, about 30 something points, and then something like that. I don't remember, but Duke this year, I feel like they're gonna go at least to the Final Four, if not the championship. But they're kind of young, so that plays a part in them, failing like they do every year because they don't have that cohesiveness like they should. Like they lost against Gonzaga this year because Gonzaga have about 3 seniors, I believe, 3 or 4 seniors. So I mean, you can see why they won that game towards the end.
If I might make a semi-random, needlessly bold prediction, Duke's not gonna make it out of the first weekend.
Oh my God.
I just feel like making it. I don't have anything to back it up. I just feel like making this
Calvin,
one.
I can't wait till March.
I just feel like
bring this back up. Cause boy,
Let's just make a bet.
in the first week, they're probably gonna be They're gonna be between first and a third seed, which means they're going to play someone from a weak conference like the Big South or the MEAC conference or Atlantic 10, some weak team. If you don't think Zion is going to run,
no, I didn't say they're gonna lose the
you
first.
said first weekend. If you don't think
First
if you don't
weekend.
think Zion is going to run through whatever team is out there viciously, you're tripping, my friend.
Like, well, here's the thing. He can't beat you by himself. That said, I realize this is kind of a wild prediction. I know. I just feel like making this. I don't know why. I just feel like the whole lack of experience thing is gonna bite them at some point in the tournament. I'm just gonna go ahead and call it early. That said, feel free to bring this up back in March. It'll be fun, especially when we look at my bracket, and I probably have them going into like the Final Four or something.
I forgot about bracket season. This should be fun.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We got to put money on it this year.
Oh yeah.
I know there's $5 that you're
Money
gonna
in
have
the
to cash
bucket.
at me at the end of the year. But I'm here for that.
All right.
So that's it for NBA and college, right? Am I wrong?
I'm pretty sure that covers it.
All right.
At least as far as we're concerned. So yeah.
I don't know if you guys know too much about high school basketball, but I am a fiend. I love seeing that next generation of one and done guys do ridiculous things against some poor 14-year-old who's going to be an accountant one day. It's great to see, hilarious, sometime almost sad, but ESPN has been doing their thing where they show some of the games, and one of the guys that I saw was Jalen Hardy against another. Both of these guys are sophomores against another guy named Noah Tates, and they just went at it, bro.
Was it that Nevada
Yes.
game? Like the game over in
Yeah.
Nevada? I didn't finish watching it, but I know what you're talking about.
Like it was to the point where I had to record and watch it again. Like There's something to say about the athleticism of 15 and 16-year-olds that is just ridiculous. Levi, I don't know why I'm putting myself in here like I was an elite athlete. I wasn't, but you knew how my bounce was. I thought I was doing something with my little 32 and a half inch vertical. Um, but when you're 6'4" and you're doing that and you're 15, there's not much people can do. And I love their competitiveness at this age where they have something to prove, but they also don't have something to prove because at their level they've already made it. But to get to the next level, you got to continue to do it. Um, but I know for a fact if Noah Tate makes it to the next level, he's going to be a 2 or 3 year guy who's going to be sneaky good. He's going to go to like a smaller school, put up numbers. I really hope he goes somewhere like Davidson or BYU where they don't really care. Uh,
How about Wichita
no,
State?
because Wichita State's actually they kind of force you to grow up because there's always going to be a couple guys ahead of you. With Davidson and BYU, there are going to be some older guys, but they kind of let you play your game. And Noah Tate is a baller, bro. Like I'm talking about like deep range threes, like Steph Curry range threes off the catch, off the dribble, and in enough athleticism where you're not disappointed in what he's doing. And then for Jalen Hardy, I don't know what it is about the kids that are underclassmen is named Jalen, because there's another guy named Jalen Green that I'm gonna have to talk about in a little bit. Those boys are aggressive, like super athletic, can do a little bit of everything. Like I'm talking about pulling up from deep. Steph Curry has really influenced this generation. I'm so disappointed because these boys, Jalen Green. There was one play, I put it on the Twitter page, where there's 8 seconds left on the clock and Noah Tate pulls up from probably like 30 feet and nothing but net. About time that ended, it was like 3 seconds left on the clock. Jalen Hardy gets the ball at the opposing 3-point line, all in 3 seconds, runs down court, takes off from about like this in the middle of the first and second hash mark on from the in the paint, and just throws it down before the buzzer beater. And I'm like, how are you that fast, bro? Like it's ridiculous. And then I watched another game. Do you guys remember Nico Mannion?
I remember that name, yeah.
I think he's like 6'4". He's going to Arizona. Supposed to be a junior this year. But I was watching him, and there's something to say about a kid who doesn't say anything, but it will give you buckets, and it's like quick buckets. Like he had to start off the game. I think within the first 4 minutes, he had 16 points or something. It was either 12 or 16 points, and it was all from threes. Like each time up the court, bow, and then he was playing against Jalen Green, and they were just back and forth all game. And it's beautiful to see how hyper competitive they are and how smart these coaches are at this level. And if they're not smart, they're scared, because Nico Mannion, before the game even started, was like, let me guard Jalen. And they were like, no, I don't want you in foul trouble. So there was some other guy who's not as good as either one of those dudes guarding them, and I think they both ended with like 30-something points. It was crazy. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Dallas is getting blessed with one of the biggest tournaments, as far as I'm concerned, that I've seen while I've been down here. And they had some crazy talent called the Hoop Fest USA, where they're just doing like different tours and in different like major cities. They're having one in DC right now. Next week they'll have it in Dallas, and in January, Calvin, they're coming to Memphis. So I'm going to try to get you some credentials so you can go to that game, because I believe it is going to
Okay.
be amazing. So I'm pretty sure your boy.
Who are they playing?
I don't know their schedule hasn't come out yet, but I know
Mm-hmm.
for Dallas next week, teams like Huntington Prep, that's one of the teams coming. Simeon from Chicago, and it's like four
Yeah.
or five different other like big schools that are coming down here to play. So I am super excited, especially after I saw there's a kid, I can't think of his name, but I think he's a sophomore, and they were on the break, and it was a kid that was trying to run to stop him after he stole the ball, and he did an East Bay like basically over the kid, and I was like, "Why are you? How are you this bold, bro? You like you're not even old enough to drive yet, and you East Bay dunking over the kids." But I think that's gonna be crazy. So I am not gonna be here next week. So it is all on you guys. I know you're gonna kill it, but I can't wait because them boys are amazing. But that's it for me on this high school basketball tip. Hopefully, I will get some footage from Friday and Saturday's games and be able to post some of that online. Give you a little show, which I missed. But I think that's about it for us, right?
Pretty much. If I could just throw one quick thing, something that happened this week: Vernon Carey committed to Duke.
I seen that.
You saw
I
that
seen
coming?
that.
Oh no, you're a Duke fan. Levi, mute your mic.
Oh, okay.
Mute your mic, because we
Of
about to say some
course.
disrespect.
Of course. Do I have to show the hat? Where's my hat at?
You really about to look for this hat?
Bro, we can't see your hat.
Forget
we
it.
don't think like you got it.
Save it for next podcast.
Yeah, Vernon Carey, that's a big one.
Yeah, he is, man.
But outside of that, any more news?
I don't think
All right, sounds like it is time for us to wrap it up. Let's hear it, Cal. Sign out.
so. I don't even I don't really got a whole lot going on. I'm coaching some. Need to write something. You said we were gonna work on something. So, y'all look for
we're
that.
Going to work on.
But yeah.
It's either going to be who is the best freshman in each of the Power 5 conferences, and I believe there's like 20 conferences. And if not, we're going to do the best NBA prospect. And honestly, we might do both because they might be one and the same for a good amount of these Power 5 schools. Calvin, you back?
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if you heard. I just talked about what we got cooking up. If there's anything else you want to add, this is your time.
As far as what I got going on, I don't really have anything else to add. I will say though that my computer and the Skype thing is not working, but that's a wholly different discussion unrelated to anything. So I'm good.
Yep.
Levi?
For me, I'll say I haven't watched like full games in college, but at least watch more college games and also more high school games. I've really been watching, LaMelo for some reason. It just pops up on my YouTube all the time, and I watch those games. But pretty much watching more high school games because some of those guys you mentioned I didn't know. So obviously I need to get in more in high school games, and that's all I got.
All right. You guys go ahead and plug your social medias so the people can get at you.
All right. What?
All right. Calvin's frozen because
He's literally frozen. He's literally
All right,
frozen.
y'all. Follow me on Twitter at C McGowan II.
Again on Twitter at C McGowan II. What about you, Levi? If you ever decide to tweet, because I'll be out here lonely because these other defenders do not tweet.
I'm sorry, man. This family life, man, it's tough, man. You don't never know when you have free time to look at your phone. But you can catch me on Fourth Quarter Legends on Twitter. And also on Instagram.
All right, and I am Alan Pettigrew Jr. I actually have an announcement. I
Have a baby on the way.
Stop it. Have officially signed documents to start writing on Fansided, and I've also am in the works to start writing about the Las Vegas Aces, which is a WNBA team. So be looking for that work coming down the pipeline within the next couple weeks. But I'm still gonna be doing our thing on the Traveling Hoopers website, for the few words that are a little too much for the rest of the public. It will all go to Traveling Hoopers. And that'll probably actually be a lot of high school basketball content too. But you can find us at Traveling Hooper on Facebook. Well, not Facebook a lot. Twitter and YouTube. And we will be coming to Instagram shortly once we get some visuals from these amazing high school basketball and college games as well. You can also find us on an app called Clip It, which allows you to show live content. I'll let you guys know about that a little bit later. And again, you can follow me at AP_the_great_ on Twitter. And have a nice day.